Oscar Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. is now describing what reportedly occurred on Epstein's Little St. James Island. Emails referencing coded language, along with various witness accounts, suggest reported trafficking activities were reportedly part of events taking place at both Zorro Ranch and Epstein's Island. Newly released FBI documents now reveal key details.
This week, new accusations coming to light against Cuba Gooding Jr. The allegations come from a former producer for Combs, Rodney Jones. Now, it originally just listed Diddy as far as fault in, but now Gooding is listed as a co-defendant, accusing him of fault as well. According to court filings, the alleged happened on a yacht rented by Combs that went to the U.S. Virgin Islands last January.
The U.S. Virgin Islands are reported as the same location where Epstein was taking his victims. Multiple witness accounts and emails indicate that individuals were transported and brought to the island using boats and helicopters. Once the victims would regain consciousness, their passports were reportedly taken away, leaving them unable to leave the island. The flight crew was said to be aware of what was happening to those being transported to the island, yet no action was taken. There are also claims that airport staff had been paid to allow the victims to board the plane. Satellite imagery, along with photos released by the Department of Justice, indicate that the island was designed to make it extremely difficult to escape. Reports also state that Epstein had a fully equipped dental office on Little St. James decorated with unusual 3D faces, and his last known girlfriend, Karina Shuliak, is reportedly a dentist. So why would Epstein have a dental office in the middle of such a remote location? According to one survivor, victims reportedly had their front teeth removed so they couldn't resist during assault.
Which face that is on the wall or the walls, which is creepy. Can you imagine going into the dentist's office and
What is that?
That's the dentist's office at Epstein Island.
And do you know what Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend went on to do as a profession?
What?
A dentist.
Oh, isn't that weird?
The last woman he dated before he died was a woman who went to dental school, practiced dentistry, and they have a dental, and there were reports that they were pulling the teeth out of the children. They were calling them blowholes. That was according to one report of a survivor. In the files, they pulled the teeth out so that they couldn't bite back during the sex.
Think about that. Think about that. You have a dentist's office to pull the teeth out of kids so they don't bite you and fight back, and then 2 for 1. When you, God forbid, these freaking poor kids, there's no evidence of their teeth. Because when people die, Pat, it's not the skull's nothing. It's your teeth. The dental records is how they identify you. So, and I know, and it's crazy, the more and more you're hearing, the trap doors, all the parties, all the people, and all these names, that's the only messed up thing is they redacted everybody's name. Why can't we see who these people?
Each time it seems the Epstein case cannot become more serious, even more disturbing details continue to emerge. An analysis of a large volume of emails released by the Department of Justice indicates that Epstein was reportedly using coded language to communicate with his high-profile associates. These code words reportedly included food-related terms such as beef jerky, pizza, ice cream, grape, sushi, and white tuna. The way these terms appear in context raises questions. For instance, in one email, Epstein's urologist, who had prescribed him medication for erectile dysfunction, reportedly wrote, "Take the pills and then meet me for pizza and grape soda."
And how dare you threaten me and call me names? I mean, I'm not getting paid for this. I've stayed out of it. I'm just getting too mad watching this.
So even before the Epstein files got released, back when the Podesta emails were released and the original Pizzagate theory was born, and if you look through some of those Podesta emails, look, they're clearly talking in code. Now, what is the code? People are speculating that it was about children. Now, I have absolutely no reason to believe that. But they're not planning pizza parties. You know what I mean? Like, they're speaking in code.
When Epstein's urologist, who's just prescribed him erectile dysfunction drugs, says, "Take the pills and then meet me for pizza and grape soda," that's in the Epstein files. Maybe it has nothing to do with sex. Maybe you get wicked hungry after you take a boner pill. I don't know. But the fact that nobody cares to find out or even interview the urologist, just bring him in and say, "Hey, what is this?"
That's right. And I felt the same way
Who
back
drinks
then.
grape soda? Well, what are you even talking? There's no white person in America who drinks grape soda. Stop.
Some investigative journalists have connected the coded language Epstein reportedly used to alleged trafficking activity, and the way terms like beef jerky are discussed, including descriptions and references that treat it like a person, has raised serious concern. There are even some mentions pointing to individuals directly. It has also been reported that Epstein had contact with a restaurant referred to as the Cannibal.
The babies, the code words in the emails, literal emails of Epstein and Bill Gates. Like, these are known entities starting to talk about jerky. And then they're talking about the intestines of babies. They're talking about cream cheese. Like, I welcome anyone to prove me wrong because I hope to fucking hell this is not true. But when we mentioned jerky, that was the more elite human meat is what I'm interpreting this as. There were emails from people, redacted names again, saying, hey, I have 68 pounds of jerky in my freezer. I'm not sure what to do with it. There were emails of, I need more jerky. I'm going to send it to the lab. When he knew they were coming after him, they knew they were going to come arrest him. He ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid, which is how you would dispose of babies. And there are mentions, and now Congress is actually speaking about it. They did this week, spoke about Zora Ranch and how there's so many mentions of bury them in Zora Ranch, leave them in Zora Ranch. And now that's 7,000 acres of land that Jeffrey Epstein owns in New Mexico. And it's actively working right now. And then just to add to that, the chef that was making the jerky, that was sending recipes, that was on the island was Francis Derby.
Who's that?
Francis Derby owns the restaurant Cannibal.
What?
Yes.
Wait, there's a restaurant called Cannibal?
Cannibal and Cooking.
Is it actual cannibalism? No, it can't be. That'd be illegal. He'd be shut down.
But is it so tongue-in-cheek? Did they think they were so fucking smart that they could go that far?
There's also a 2012 email from Jeffrey Epstein to Chef Francis Darby asking about handling frozen white tuna, with online speculation linking it to human remains due to Darby's previous role at the Cannibal restaurant, a meat-focused eatery in New York and Los Angeles.
There are code words that suggest Jeffrey Epstein and his associates could maybe even be engaging in some sort of consumption. Is that human consumption? Are there code words? There's a lot of talk of beef jerky. There's a restaurant called The Cannibal where the owner is listed in some of these documents. Now, that isn't a restaurant that is just proclaiming to serve human meat by any means. But some of this just, it seems that there's a lot of conspiracies that make you wonder. And I saw more emails about Twitter, and these coded conversations still have a very clear topic that was big. It was a big driver for them. And these were sick people doing very, very sick things.
Reports of Epstein's associates being involved in alleged harmful activities have circulated for several years. Back in 2009, another alleged victim, a young model named Gabriela Jimenez, became distressed outside a hotel gathering organized by individuals reportedly linked to Epstein, stating that she had witnessed something deeply disturbing involving powerful guests.
Luis, esta es la triste realidad de la joven Gabriela Rico Jiménez, que como observamos en unos momentos, intentó también agredir al elemento policíaco que logró someterla esta madrugada.
At the same time, some sources claim that Epstein's alleged associates were using human-derived materials and cells obtained from infants in attempts to stay youthful. Similar claims have appeared repeatedly in discussions involving public figures. Some television programs have also been interpreted by viewers as referencing the use of human-derived materials to maintain a youthful appearance over the years. One episode of The Steve Harvey Show, A guest demonstrates an opera-endorsed anti-aging cream described as being made using fibroblasts derived from human foreskin.
On your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
So it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You'd have sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hair. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your last time. Not coming up.
Ellen was also accused of being involved in similar activities. Rumors about Ellen's alleged connection to certain circles and the use of stem cells sourced from humans have been circulating for a long time. Online discussions have also attempted to link Ellen's changed appearance to claims that she no longer received such treatments after Diddy was arrested. One episode with Sandra Bullock, Ellen and Sandra Bullock discussed the topic of anti-aging treatments, including references some viewers associate with controversial substances.
Let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Perry? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
The main distinction being suggested between these elites and Epstein was in how they were allegedly using materials from other people for their own benefit. Steve Harvey and Ellen were described as using such methods in pursuit of staying youthful, while Epstein was allegedly using it for consumption. In one email, Epstein even referenced a specific recipe he was reportedly using for beef jerky.
Some of these emails up right here. And again, like you have to think of these things, as you put it, Chris, as if you're in like a court of law and what you can prove and what you can't.
Right.
And right now, if you just looked at these alone, they don't definitively prove anything. But can we pull up that email you had up, Thief? Yeah, the one that you had the perfect one up about the recipe. Yeah. Okay, go to the top one right there. So this one is called Jerky Recipe in the subject. It's from December 21st, 2012. It says, "Hi, Steve Hansen," no relation, "on Jeffrey's Island is requesting the latest beef jerky recipe as Jay-He has asked her to try and make some. He says the last batch that you made tasted different, and I think he likes it as he would like to attempt it. Would it be possible to forward us the recipe? Thank you, Steve." This is the response. "But I've now been told it is the old way Francis was doing it he likes best and not the latest batch. So on LSJ on Little St. James is going to try and do it that way. I am in Europe, but with him on the island if you need to call to liaise about getting anything down." So obviously, the number one point is they're not talking about real jerky here. We know that. It's code for something.
Right.
And when you go through some of the other emails that talk about how to refrigerate it, where to store it, how many pounds it is and things like that, your brain goes to some of that Peter Nygaard type world type things.
Absolutely. Now I've seen these, and I have access to the the index emails as well. It's and I try to go through them when time allows. But yeah, I would guess, if I were a betting man, that they're not talking about actual beef jerky. Not known to be an island treat. I mean, people eat a lot of fish down on the islands, and I'm sure other stuff too. But I mean, to me, this is code for something more nefarious.
There is a disturbing journal entry from one alleged victim in the Department of Justice release that points toward Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly forcing women to become pregnant and operating what has been described as a baby farm. What these infants were allegedly used for has not been clearly explained, but considering other reported activities on the island, some investigative journalists have claimed that such practices may have been widespread.
Sometimes we don't talk enough about what these accusers, what these alleged victims went through. So let me read you from these, again, what appear to be diary entries. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't speak, she doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking and it's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again, I think from Israel. He had kind eyes, but didn't speak directly to me. This was different. A shot, and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain. Ghislaine said to push all the pain away. I don't understand. Blood and water all over the bed, and she was right. Like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. She said to close my eyes and put her hands over my eyes, but I didn't close them because of these tiny cries. I am so lost. I saw between her fingers this tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more cries. And when you go to page 20 of this particular packet, chillingly, there is even a picture of a sonogram on a page with the words, "She is gone and she won't be coming back." And next to what appears to be a poem entitled Child, you have passages such as, "Your clear eye is the one absolutely beautiful thing. I want to fill it with color and ducks." Now, we don't know for sure who this person is. We don't know if this claim is real. We don't know if this sonogram is the baby the person mentions. And also, we can't confirm whether any charges or investigations were launched because of the specific account or accounts. But it seems the allegation is clear, right? That she was impregnated, and as I'll get into, either by Jeffrey Epstein, or maybe she was a surrogate of some kind, but the baby was taken away. And what is interesting when we talk about her credibility, at least to me, is the apparent specificity of detail and acknowledging certain personal details about Epstein.
At the same time, claims about bodies being buried on Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico are also under investigation. State investigators have reportedly been searching Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch for the remains of 2 victims who were allegedly killed. According to the Daily Mail, the search followed an email claiming that a former staff member had information suggesting 2 victims were buried outside the ranch. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madame G, the email stated. As Epstein's Zorro Ranch is being examined, reports have also emerged of individuals alleging they were drugged, had organs removed, and later woke up in an operating room without any memory of how they arrived there.
Mexico has begun to reopen a criminal investigation at Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, which was one of the many properties in which Jeffrey Epstein committed acts of sexual abuse against minors, both girls and boys. We know that there was not only criminal allegations brought to the FBI and DOJ, but there was also a civil suit involving an allegation against Jeffrey Epstein at the ranch. Mr. Indike, who is in the room being deposed right now, managed the ranch properties, and I asked a number of questions about what happened at Zorro Ranch. And I will say this, although I can't speak to what was specifically on the record, I was told today by Mr. Indike's attorneys that they were not even aware that the U.S. Department of Justice asked to drop New Mexico's case against Jeffrey Epstein. And so whether that is true, we cannot verify it, but all of this points to the fact that nobody is talking, nobody is telling the truth, nobody is helping us get real answers, and so the cover-up continues.
The most concerning part is that if these claims are accurate, some remains may never be recovered. Emails attributed to Epstein reportedly show him purchasing large amounts of sulfuric acid shortly after his indictment. There are claims suggesting that this substance may have been intended to eliminate potential evidence connected to alleged crimes.
Here's one of the craziest ones. The day he was indicted in 2018, the very next day he ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
What?
Yes. He ordered 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid to be delivered to the island. And so there was a lot of people online saying, oh, that was probably for his desalination plant. It's probably like a regular thing they need to order. So then someone else did a deep dive and said, no, this is the first time this was ever ordered.
I checked that again. I saw there was 2 other ones.
Oh, there was 2 other orders?
2017 and 2015.
Oh, so that guy was
could have been
wrong.
the first one from that company, potentially.
Ah, that makes sense. So maybe it was for this desalination equipment, but also that's a lot of sulfuric acid. You know, if I needed 5 gallons for my desalination equipment, but
right,
239 gallons or whatever it is to burn kids. Yeah, to get rid of bodies.
Well, it's kind of hard to think of any other use for acid, just in general. Right?
Immediately,
So
you think
immediately.
Yeah. The other orders, were they that large?
Let me check.
Because here's the other thing. I mean, how long has it been killing people? How long have they been boiling bodies to get rid of them? I mean, if you do have, for lack of better words, let's call it a service, where you allow rich people from foreign governments or whatever, you set it up. I can give you whatever you want.
Right.
Like what I want to do is I want to book her. Like I want to torture her, and I want to get rid of the body. Like I want to do that. Like, can you do that? There was one where this one guy is saying to him, "Thank you for the torture video." It's literally a part of an email. The actual quote, "Thank you for the enjoyed the torture video."
It's so gross.
And they think they've identified that guy.
Many of these claims continue to circulate online, but distinguishing verified information from speculation is more important now than ever. As additional records, testimonies, and official findings are released, the overall situation may become clearer. What do you think? Are these files pointing to something larger, or is the internet moving ahead of the confirmed evidence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in more in-depth content about influential figures, lesser-known controversies, and stories that often go unnoticed, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.